Well, welcome back to Crown's Crypto Cave. Wait, the Forex Fortress, that's right. It's day number 3, baby, and I want to follow up on yesterday's short-term time frame analysis, of which we did see Bitcoin, most of the coins, most of these shit coins, play out the downside areas that we're looking for. But now, is it time to be looking for bouncy bounces, or was that all just a dream before we get ready to go into the Forex abyss? Anyway, starting off with Dixie, as always, kind of setting the biases for all of the major US dollar pairs. In this area right here, am I looking for a little bit more upside coming out of this 21 and 10 simple right here? Yeah, probably yes. Also playing out some hidden bullish divergence on daily RSI here too, which likely does produce a move back up somewhere around 93.80 to 93.90ish region. And then I would be looking for a short-term pullback off that area as well. So that kind of does set in the short-term bias for a little bit of likely downside on all of our major pairs versus US dollar. But as we saw yesterday, it's not always going to operate like that. And actually need to say something really, really important right here. Because a lot of people have been asking me this. Crown, why are you bullish on Dixie? Why bullish? Don't you know that printing? Brr. Okay, well, first off, Dixie is the dollar's relative value to other currencies. It's not the actual value of the dollar, so it's always going to be relevant to other currencies, and that's why you can be you can be very, very bullish on something like Dixie, and you could also see the dollar actually losing its absolute value. But as always, things are always relative to each other. So in this case right here, I think that is something that a lot of people would probably benefit from knowing, or also just employing a fucking Google search for once in your life. No, just kidding. Sorry. Anyways, okay, so going over here and checking out Aussie dollar. What I'd be looking for on this one, a little bit of short-term up perhaps, as we do see a range being established. We did hit our downside target yesterday, or around our downside target. Actually looks like it overshot it just by a smidgen here, but I was saying about 71.6 region, of which we did get that. So what do we look at for now? Well, looking at momentum also is turning back up, and 4-hour RSI playing out some hidden bullish divergence here. Yeah, I would be looking for this one to pop back up to the top side of the short-term range, somewhere around just under 72 cents at 71.985, anywhere between there and about 72 cents. Yeah, short term. What about an hourly here too? Do we have any sort of divergences to be aware of? Technically, there actually is some potential hidden bearish divergence being formed here too. So if this one does fail to get continuation, like soon, and especially if you do see any sort of an hourly total closure below 71.7, then yes, I would be looking for this one to come all the way back down to the prior low of yesterday, 71.5, and probably does try another bounce there, but continuation of the downside likely is implied over time towards 71.3 to 71.2. Okay, let's go on to CAD dollar right here. What do we see? A little bit of short-term down, it looks like to me. Probably does come back down and test around 76 cents-ish regions. We do see hourly Stokes looking a little bit frothy right there. It looks like we found a lot of tops within this region as well. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what these line up with. So yeah, so that's this top right here, this top right here, and once again putting in a potential top. But that only implies move to the downside of the short-term range at around 76 cents even, and I probably would be looking for another bounce there right now. Looking at the hourly RSI, it actually isn't problematic, and I'm curious if the 4-hour will reveal something. You know what? I'm completely wrong about all of this. This one's short-term bullish. Hourly means nothing to me after that. The 4-hour will supersede this one. Just confirming a local low right here, bouncing off the 21. Looks good to me, man. Actually, this one looks pretty damn good. In fact, I'd even say that we do have hidden bullish divergence going all the way back to this low right here, which was correlated with this one. And as you can see right here, this is a massively higher low. I'm making a massively lower low on RSI, and I would be looking for this one to probably pop back up to the top side of the range, 76.25. And if things actually do want to test a little bit higher over the next couple of days, I think that would actually be a pretty damn good setup. Let's see what the daily says. Daily's not really giving us much. At least it's not giving us much that we haven't already seen. Let's see. Next one down the list. What do we got? Euro dollar right here. Come on, you Euro dollar fuckface. Come down to daddy. Daddy wants you right around 116.25. But is that relevant here? 4-hour does look like it has a little bit of downside inherently here. 117-ish region to about 116, or where did I just say? I think I said 116.3 actually. That's only if this current range for low breaks. So let's actually go to the 4-hour and see what this one suggests right here. And yeah, any sort of a 4-hour total closure below about 117, and I would look for that extension to the lower target of 116.3. But again, short term, is that really relevant to be looking for right here? Well, short term it is bearish actually, yes. Looking for the hourly to come down a little bit lower, probably right around 117 even. even. After that, I probably want to see the daily closure. I don't think it's appropriate for me to talk anything more than that. So yeah, short term down probably does try another bounce off of 117 even, and then we'll come back tomorrow and check what's up. Pound yen, what do we see here? Short term up, I would be looking for a retest of about 136.8 region, somewhere in this golden cross area right here, and then I'd want to come back after that one. A little bit of bullish divergence coming off the lows here too. I think the easy part of that move is certainly already played out, no doubt about that one. Let's see what the 4 hour says. 4 hours pretty damn sloppy here, to be fair. Here's the thing. This one actually really can melt to the downside if this one does turn around. That's the problem with this area. You know what? Looking at the daily, I really can't make much out of this actually right here. Let's see what the weekly says as well. Weekly says bounce. Weekly says bounce, to be fair. Daily, I'm not getting much from actually. So short term, I'd probably stick with what I looked at just on the short term. I'd be looking for another move to the upside here, somewhere around 136.8, maybe even all the way up to about 137-ish region. But after that, I don't really think it's appropriate for me to say anything else, as I don't feel all that strongly about it. All right, pound dollar. What do we see here? Basically the same chart, it feels like. Are these the same charts? Oh no, they are different ones, but yeah, probably same interpretation here as well. Maybe short term up, but playing in a range between about 129 even and 129 and a half. And are we going to break that range today? Well, I don't really have a strong opinion on that, but my opinion is that if we do break the range to the upside, then I would be looking for a retest back up here to the medium term upside range at about 130-ish region. To the downside, if we do break below the hourly 10 simple, I would look for another retest of the current lows and likely a bounce here as well, and that's 128.66. Okay, what's next? Yen dollar. Yen dollar, all sorts of weirdness looking like on the 4 hour. On the hourly. 4 hour is more so upside angled here. What about the daily? Yeah, as long as it's above here, here's the easy play on this one. Okay. Scratch everything that I just said. I mean, yes, the 4 hour does look like it wants to play at a little bit of upside, but here's the easy play on this one. Any sort of a move above this range high, or even just taking out today's high thus far at 94.95, and I would look for extensions quite significantly all the way up towards this liquid zone right here. Well, I guess I already have all these things in. Let's just redo this in the most easy way possible. Yeah, anywhere around here. Again, if today's high is taken out to the upside. By the same token, if we take out yesterday's low, which is 94.65, I would look for extension actually quite significantly lower, all the way back down to this prior low right here at about 94.30-ish region, and probably does play at a bounce. Now, if I'm looking at momentum oscillators, which side do I favor? The upside here, and that kind of relies on the 4 hour once again. So if I did have to call this one right now, I'd be looking for a test back up here towards about 95 and some odd change. Yeah, 95 and a quarter it looks like, most likely. What else do we get? Where's my next ones, sir? Where are you? There's my Swiss franc dollar. Okay, what do we look like right here? Is it looking like a little bit of a bouncy bounce territory? Likely yes. Looking at an hourly though, is that still a bounce territory? Fuck no, it's not. All right, so short term down most likely probably does retest the last hourly low somewhere right around 109. Although I don't really have anything within that region, so it does make me believe that if we do reapproach that region, it's not just going to stop there. It probably does come all the way back down to about just under 109 region. What is the daily looking like? Yeah, daily is a weird one here too, because the daily actually does have hidden bearish divergence in play, and I don't believe that that's played out just yet, especially with momentum oscillators on the daily looking like they are getting a little bit tired there. I'd probably wait on this one. I don't feel all that confident on this one either. Swiss franc dollar. Long term though, I do like it. Long term, I think that this is rather constructive and likely does break to the upside. In fact, I'd be looking for a move back up to 110.5, which is what I was saying yesterday. But again, that is relevant to the weekly, not to the 4 hour or the hourly. Right now, maybe a little more short term to the downside, and then I'd be looking for a bounce anywhere off this region right here, or just playing the last 4 hour doji dildo right here. If we do take out the top side of it, yes, short term I'll be looking for a move towards 109.5 with likely extension back up here towards 110 and then 110.5 on the weekly, and below the last 4 hour low at 109.11, I would be looking for this one to come likely all the way back down here. I don't think that it's just going to stop where I just had it before. Anywhere between where this level is at 108.8 and 108.69. Great number. What about gold? What's gold looking like? Gold's looking all sorts of weirdness right now. Short term probably does turn back up. We do have a little bit of hidden bullish divergence here. The question is, has it already played out? A good amount has played out. About $10 move from 1890 all the way to 1900. but we're kind of in the middle of a greater range. I think that this one also, I'd probably refrain from saying anything more intense. Maybe the weekly will show something. No, not really. Yeah, for me, actually short term, I'd be looking for some downside here, probably back down to the range low, right around 1890-ish region, and I'd be looking for likely another bounce there too. If 1890 does fail with any sort of an hourly closure below there, I would extend targets all the way back down to about 1875 to 1870 base. Let's see if I actually have this in. Oh, I guess I don't, so let's just draw it in right there. There you go. All right, 1875 and 1870 or 1872. All right, nice one. I think someone asked for a Mexican peso versus dollar, so sure. I'm not too familiar with this one, but what I say about this one, short-term bearish, probably coming back down towards 0.0466. What about on daily? Daily is long-term pretty fucking bearish. Wow, this is an absolute shitcoin of a national currency. No offense, but I would be looking for a bounce off of 0.046 and a quarter and some odd change. Whatever it is, I'd be looking for a bounce in that region actually. Long-term though, I mean, this is just a very devilish chart, we'll call it. What about Nasdaq? We got it right here. I'd really refrain on saying anything on the lower-term timeframes. I don't have a strong opinion on it. I'm bullish on this one on the weekly. Short term, could it come back down to the range lows at 12,000? Yeah, absolutely. That wouldn't really do too much for me. And do I think it will come back down there? Yeah, it is looking like it. Hourly Jules under a bit of pressure, but not anything too crazy. Hourly Stokes turning down at the same time. Hourly RSI getting kicked out of the bullish control zone, and all sorts of signals right there. But I don't, yes, I mean, is that a relevant move? Yeah, it's a $100 move to be fair. But for this one, the weekly is gonna tell all. Any sort of a weekly closure above 12,000, which by the way, that is a short-term time frame range lows. I'd be looking for new all-time highs coming in next week, and looking at weekly RSI, looking at weekly Stokes. Yeah, I do think that that's going to happen. So, if there is a little bit of short-term downside at around $12,000, I'd be looking at that as likely an opportunity, and with intent interest on Friday's closure, as that's going to decide the actual direction on this one. For right now, I think I have said enough. And how long are we? 12 minutes in. Okay, sweet one. Well, I think that's where I'm going to end it on. I'm going to end it on that note. I'd like to wish you the best. Once again, take care, and until next time.